Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Go4 Mobile Legends North American Cup number 8. My name is Peter Westcott-Hunnell, and joining me this evening is Jaws. We're going straight into the first game of this evening between V.Beast and Kings Row.
Yeah, we're jumping straight in, and this will be the semi-finals of this week as well. Had a couple of problems early on, but we should be good to go. Right, V-Beasts, we know these guys all too well, and they're just going to rush towards the center of the point as always, and they are taking a few interesting, different legends this time. I was going to come forward though. It's going to be a massive bundle on top. They're literally all on top of each other, Peter.
Yep, I think we do see the relic being secured as well as the first blood. Nice pickup for V.Beast, who did work pretty well out of that one.
Yeah, they did really, really well. Yeah, if you switch back, there we go. Tyq, he's on the cull again. So Roland being a strong pickup. I almost didn't recognize Roland then. Does have a new skin, so that's kind of nice. Cull obviously being just one of these big pickups, and we see it a lot as of recently. Just the amount of CC in his kit is just so huge, and just having him in these massive team fights is going to be very influential. We do see both teams obviously running the completely same lineup here as well, with Darren's in the bottom side.
Yes, I do apologise, I got a bit confused. So it's V.Beast who are on the red team, whereas Kings Row on the blue. Entirely the opposite of what I initially said, that Kings Row managing to sneak away that early advantage with the incredibly, as you said, big bundle over that first rate. Both teams looking to commit fully to it. I'm kind of surprised, if anything, we didn't see more kills coming down in that first skirmish.
Yeah, definitely. Only one went across. Obviously, the side of Kings Row did manage to pick that one up. And yeah, we do see Darren's in the bottom side yet again. It's Darren is just going to be a staple legend even for a while, I think. Hull is going to be on this side. They've just taken level 3. Roland.
Yeah, making good use of that teleport to be able to disengage. Obviously, a long cooldown on the teleport means that drawing it out is going to suddenly open up options for V.Beast to make the play. They've got the positioning on the mid right now, and of course we're coming up on that 2-minute mark. We're going to have another relic spawning. We'll see which one of these teams is going to be the one to secure it, though.
Yeah, Cull is down on the side. Tyq is going to be here, and does look like actually the blue side are going to secure that one. So Kings Row yet again securing that relic. See there, V.Beast just running off into the bushes again. They don't want to get spotted out too early. Don't want to get too far forward up in their faces. They have got a level lead at the moment on the side of Kings Row, so they're going to have to be quite careful. Now, you did obviously speak about the spell there, the teleport, and that has changed up over the past few weeks. Obviously, a lot of people used to take Whirlwind, but now teleport being the main usage. Just using that ability to just jump over walls and have a massive engage with Cull is just so important. I think that's why the meta kind of shifted in that way, just because Cull is just this massive force and can just stop team fights completely just through his massive CC of his knockups.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really interesting to see how the meta warps, just because of the capabilities of these different champions. I mean, certainly with the teleport being very prevalent now, we're going to see very dynamic team fights as these guys break into fight. For the first time, we see the relic being secured for V.Beast, and they managed to chase out Kings Row as well. Even though they're a little bit behind, still looking very confident.
Yeah, they are. Cull is just going to be on the sidelines there. You see him just camping in that bush, making sure no one can get on the rest of his team. I do believe actually that's Roland's default skin. I'm pretty sure. Now I'm thinking about it, he just looks so different. I was a bit confused.
Oh no, the I can't remember the name of it. But I think it's a legendary skin. For
that
Roland.
would make sense because I'm not sure I've seen that skin before on Roland, but it might just be me being silly.
It's I believe it's based on the Sun Wukong Chinese myth. So he's got the magic staff and the big old, I don't even know what to call those, but so it looks very cool. And we're seeing the engage breaking out from Kings Row.
Oof. Yeah, you see there the teleport usage coming out from Dream there on the Roland, just getting out of that sticky situation very, very quickly. Does have his ultimate available now, so we'll see what he wants to do with that. But Jace on this bottom side on the Darren, just being A little bit weak at this current time. He's going to have to back off here. Obviously, has popped the ult. Has actually gone for the mana shield there.
Yeah, but it's worth noting as well. If we swipe between these two guys very quickly, we're seeing very different item setups for both teams' Darrens. Jay's going for a more aggressive build with his Gale boots and things, whereas we're seeing a much more defensive setup for V.Beast, and he's using that to provide a lot of pressure down the bot side. We'll see which team's going to secure their first turret of the game and be able to really open up the map for themselves. But certainly Jace is going for a riskier, high risk, high reward kind of strategy with his items.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do. You got to take the risks to get the rewards. We are obviously in the semi-finals, so if Kings Row can secure this one, or V.Beast, they will be up against someone else from the other bracket. Fire Giant has spawned. So you just need all those championship points you can get, because, you know, just appearing as the highest seed just definitely solidifies you in terms of the brackets on later on in the tournaments.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it can seem a long way off before we go to these big finals, but every game matters in these tournaments. And I mean, we're certainly seeing these teams adapt and change, as you were talking about, the meta shifting quite dramatically as these teams pick up new legends, new strategies, and it all coalesces in that final as we see which one has learnt the most and which one's be able to keep their strategies hidden up until the last moment.
Yeah, it's really interesting as well, because obviously last week we did see a lot of Pyrex as well, but having this Roland switch up is pretty unique, I think, and just having his immense damage coming through is just really important. Obviously, when we first started getting into the game and viewing these tournaments, we did see a lot of ranged top laners as well, so Darren is going to come down. He has got the shield on him as well. He did manage to pop that one fairly early. Does get the CC immunity there, but backs up under his tower. It's going to be a little bit more safe, but just taking a lot of pressure from that top side, which is going to be really important, because you're going to want to suppress these Darrens in the bottom side. Just make sure they're constantly on their toes, just making sure they don't get as much farm as possible, because if they do manage to get maybe a couple of kills, just get a golden item advantage, just can lead to disaster in the late game, because a Darren who's extremely fed can really just run away with it 1v3.
It's all going mental underneath the tower. Jace is on the wrong side of the tracks. We're seeing V.Beast closing around him. Can he get away? He's going to get stunned up. He's going to get... No, he's just alive! Dream is the one who goes down, and it's 2-0 to Kings Row. What a turnaround. They might even turn it into a 3-0. Not quite, but wow. And we also see V.Beast lose a tower out of the bargain.
Wow, that was huge. Cole came in with the knockup there. Actually, double kill coming through as well for the Roland. Even now, they're just chasing Roland away. He's going to eventually go down. They do pick up a little bit from that. But picking up those 2 kills, especially on someone like a Roland in the top lane, is going to be super important. But Cole coming out for Kings Row, just getting the 3-man knockup there was just absolutely huge. And just securing those kills is just ever so important.
Oh, we've seen it in the other games. I mean, the multi-man knockups, absolutely game-changing and so crucial. I mean, you pointed out as well that we've got 4 Kings where they have taken the mana shield, which is going to shield them from that knockup if they can activate it at the right time. But it can be so hard to see it coming, especially if we see Carl deploying it from the bush, out of vision, and really catching the enemy by surprise.
Whoa, just like that.
Exactly like that. And suddenly V.Beast are back in this game. They've evened up the kill score, and they're going to be able to take the relic as well. A very nice pickup. Rather than taking that power relic means that if they pick a fight anytime soon, surely it's going to be trouble for Kings Row.
Yeah, wow. Darren there, obviously, from V.Beast. They did roam up to the top side. They even found Chase here.
Ooh, this is looking a little dicey, but they're moving as a team, working very well together. They haven't at the moment, of course, got any more relics, but they're farming away that jungle and trying to turn their small advantage they managed to generate after the last couple of kills into something more.
Yeah, 3-3 on the kill count at this current time. And with Roland up in this top side as well, like I said, he is fairly strong, but the level lead only slightly in favour of V.Beast here, so they will have a tiny bit more of inherent stats, and you see them just pushing their advantage there. They didn't actually manage to secure the tower, both in top and bottom side. So it does mean Kings Row are very much in the driving seat. They're waiting for that relic to spawn. It will be a speed one. Kang is going to pick that one up. We'll see how he's going to use that.
Oh, this is going to be potentially really significant. With the Roland having that speed boost, he's going to be able to spin around and cause a lot of damage. It'll be really hard to get away from. But it does only last a relatively short amount of time. So we'll see if a fight does break out. Both Darrens are in the bottom side. And as you pointed out, V.Beast have already lost both of their outer turrets. So unless Kings Row want to go pretty deep, their objective choice is kind of limited at the moment, unless they can force a fight.
Yeah, with those turrets being down, they cannot push out all too far because they can get collapsed on by Taiki. Obviously, we've seen him have one massive ultimate already, just coming in, triple knock-up, just absolutely huge. We'll see if he is going to look for another one of those, because as soon as he gets at least 1 or 2 men knocked up, it's pretty much game over for you as you are eliminated from the fight. But having these same compositions is really interesting as well, because you can do that from the other side. You just really got to look out for Cole's positioning and catch him off guard. Dong up in the top side there, just securing a little bit of farm, but here comes a fight.
It's all breaking out right now. We're seeing Kang going down really fast. They're trading kills backwards and forwards. Both Darrens going at each other, both not making too much of an impression as of yet, but the numbers advantage does tell. V.Beast managed to take that second kill, Taikyu being pushed out the back.
Yeah, Taikyu's going to have to retreat here. 2 kills going over. And that will be pretty big. They're probably going to be able to just get this tower there. You see Darren just autoing it from a range. And that's just going to fall so quickly. And the thing is as well, with these team fights, when it becomes later game, it's going to be so easy for people to actually take these towers. Because the amount of damage they're going to stack up through items, the towers are just going to get shredded like paper. So obviously that is something to keep an eye out for.
It looks like Dong going for the more conservative 3-item route, looking to try and upgrade his items to the next tier rather than building the full suite of 6. So far, we'll see how well that works out. Certainly has that attack speed reduction in his armor and the boots as well. But still very close between these two teams. We'll see which one's going to come out on top of this next fight.
Kang's going to come in. Jace as well is just doing so much damage. Dong actually is going to go down there. Cole falls as well. Now it's Darren on 3 of them. Taikyu is on the backside there, but he's so low. They managed to just see this Darren up, and he's probably going to go down here. Just get the few dodges, but no, he takes one with him, in fact. Taikyu just getting a little bit too close there. Does get taken out with the ranged Darren attacks. And Roland now, you know, this guy, it was popping off earlier. 4-3 now. He's given up a couple of deaths, but still putting out a lot of meaningful damage.
Yeah, not a good team fight for V.Beast. I think that consolation kill at the end was really important for them just to get anything back out of that fight. It looked like it was going to be disastrous for such a long time. But yeah, Kings Row still have the small... they've got the map advantage. They've got those towers down. No towers... no, sorry, I misspoke. V.Beast have got that one tower up on the top side. But... Kings Row seem quite content to keep having these occasional fights and keep coming out a little bit ahead and keep taking these small advantages until eventually the game is just over.
Yeah, that's it. You just gotta keep pushing those small advantages, change them into larger ones, and just push away from there. I mean, we've seen it in the early game, obviously. We saw Kings Row. They had that early lead, but unfortunately, they did manage to just give up a couple of kills, and V.Beast are still in this fight. There is a tower difference, however. But with that tower being really low in the bottom side, Jace is going to have to be really careful. Can't leave the lane for too long because they can just walk up to it and take it. And that's one of the big problems as well, like I mentioned. If you get a lot of items, these towers are just going to they're just going to fall. They're just going to get shredded like paper. They look like they're going to try and set up a gank onto Jace. He is a bit wiser, though. He is going to back off quite handily.
It does feel important for V.Beast to try and make some kind of big decision here. I mean, they had the opportunity to maybe go down and force a fight down at the bottom and get a tower dive. You're right, at this point, 13 minutes in, this is already quite long for these games. We're starting to see these games develop longer as the teams get a better idea of what they can and can't get away with. So they're getting a little less bloody as a whole. The teams being more conservative with their play. But, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is the right move for VB since they have got the current disadvantage. And in the bottom side...
Oh, Tang is going to find someone here, but 3 members actually of Kings Row are going to be there. Tang, look at this guy. He's just taking so much damage. They're going to come with the knock-ups here. Triple knock-up, in fact, from Cole. And this is going to be absolutely disastrous. You saw Dream come in there with the ultimate as well. Just spinning to win, and he just shreds the enemy team. They're going to jump on this Fire Giant as well. It means they're going to get an early respawn off of that. So that's going to be quite a big advantage coming into these later stages of the team fights. But as soon as Cull arrives, you've got to watch out. Those multi-man ultimates, a disaster if you get hit by one.
Absolutely. I mean, he kept alive for such a long time, 3 versus 1, and V.Beast able to come in and turn it around. As you said, that big knockup arrived at exactly the right moment. If he'd been a second or two later, it would have been too late, and they probably would have lost anyway, but just in time. And they turned that fight on its head. A 3-on-1 catch to an ace. It's eye-watering how crazy these fights can get.
Yeah, and we saw it there. Like I said, Cull, just such a strong legend right now. We're going to see another knock up there as well from the Cull over on the side of King's Row. This is actually a huge damage from the Darren there. He's just sitting on the backside, just doing so much work. V.Beast really taking the game into their own hands. Cull's going to be stunned up there. Taikyu, only member left standing. He's eventually going to get taken out. And V.Beast, you know, they had the disadvantage in the early game. But look at them now. 12 kills under their belt. A whole 5 over the side of King's Row. And they've got firm control of this jungle side as well, which is going to be really important for them. Just extending this lead, making sure they get in the gold, get in the levels. And we see this game just evening up and just going to V.Beast's favour, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, it did seem a lot like King's Row had V.Beast's number, but it's just completely turned around. These fights not quite panning out the way that King's Row would like, and I mean they turn absolutely on the smallest of individual skill choices. We do see Jace coming back in, putting a lot of damage down. We're seeing teleports coming out as well. We might see a fight breaking out.
Yeah, we might indeed. Here comes Cull again, but no, Jace does get knocked up here. He's going to take a lot of damage coming from Roland from the V.Beast side. He's actually going to go down, in fact. Trung as well just gets a savagery kill. Taikyu, the only member standing, but he's against 2 low health Onis, but the lifesteal coming out from the Darren is just enough to take the kill. He's got the respawn as well from the Fire Giant, just to keep that in mind. That inhibitor is surely going to fall in a second. And V.Beast, they look on fire and they look unstoppable at this point. There's 5 seconds timer on the side of King's Row. This could very well be the end of the game, in fact. Darren just shredding this base here. It's going to go down, and that will be V.Beasts taking it from King's Row.
Wow, what a turnaround. King's Row looked so strong for such a long time, and then it just all fell to pieces in just a few short team fights. It's impressive. We didn't see we didn't see V.Beast let up at all, and yeah, they took the game away really, really quickly towards the end. We're going to pop to a quick break while these teams get sorted out with their second game of this best of 3 series. But don't go anywhere at all, and we'll be back with you as soon as we can.